You can introduce this one.
All right.
Just saying that you leading. Like, you know how I be asking you the question? You can ask me the question on this one.
Okay.
Like, you hosting, I guess, the non-spoiler one.
All right. What's up, YouTube? We're here on Ryan's channel. Of course, if you've seen him before, you know I'm Giselle. And then go ahead.
You know me, boys. Pretty much smooth Ryan.
All right. So earlier, we did post the spoiler version of Us and how we felt about it. But we had a few people let us know that we should post something that's non-spoilers, so we're gonna go ahead and do that because we love to spoil things. But I guess we'll keep it for those that haven't seen the movie yet. So what were your thoughts?
Going into the movie, I had high expectations because of Get Out. I felt like, Jordan Peele was gonna hit us with something crazy.
He's already taking credit.
Hey man, I'm gonna be up there one day and people gonna be doing this about me. So all right, anyway, yeah, from the what I know of the movie, I felt like it was gonna be something crazy. Like watching the movie had me going crazy, just sitting at the edge of my seat, always trying to anticipate something and trying to look in between the lines, because I felt like on Get Out I didn't really do that. And I feel like there was a lot of, hidden messages in there. So for this movie, I tried to look in between the lines, and I felt like even if I did, stuff still flew over my head. So, I don't know, man, the movie was crazy. It was just, it's hard not to try to spoil it, but I felt like the movie was real good, and I felt like I still have a lot of questions, but I don't know. It's just crazy. What did you think?
Same. It was a good movie, but I have a lot of questions. And then if you want to know those questions, you can watch the other video, because we're not going to say it on here.
Watch the other video.
But, based off the trailers and all, we all thought about the whole, different conspiracies people had, the whole psychological aspect of it, of is there, an inner demon inside everybody, basically, or, things like that. And we went in with that mindset. We went in with all kinds of mindset, because there's a bunch of theories out there of just based off the trailer of how this could be. Mm-hmm. But it for sure does have something to do with your mindset, for sure, because you have to go in there with an open mind. It's more of a psychological movie than it is literal, I think.
Do you think the trailers gave justice to the movie? Do you think the trailers give you enough in the movie, or do you think the trailers not hold enough? Whatever you see in the trailers is far off from what you go see in the movie, or you think the trailers do enough justice into the movie?
I think it's in between, because they gave us enough, but at the same time when you watch it, it does a whole bunch of twists and turns. So which I guess that's what a trailer does, right? They're not gonna give you the exact thing what it is. But aside from that, it's confusing, but you are gonna have questions. I will let you know that, so you don't feel bad when you finally watch the movie and you walk out with the big question marks, because we like that still. But overall, it's a good movie.
I feel like leading up to the movie, there's a lot of conspiracies to the movie. I feel like people have a lot of thoughts about the movie. Now this is before the movie. I feel like some of them conspiracies, a small percent may be leading to something, but a lot of the other ones I feel like are far off. Because without really spoiling it, Us has different meanings to it. And if you watch the interviews with Jordan Peele, he talks about that. But I feel like, Us stands for them as the family, and then Us stands for US as the United States. And some of the stuff that I guess partake in the United States, he explains that in the movie, but like I said before, it's something that you gotta try to read in between the lines to see. Did you catch on to that or no?
No, I did not.
Well, I try to watch it. I watch his interviews a lot, leading up into the movie. I try not to watch anything that he didn't spoil it, but I don't want to get too many details. But the loose interviews that he did do, I feel like he explained some of that, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's weird and it's just hard. This one, compared to Get Out, this is so left field. Whatever if you're expecting this to be anything like Get Out or tie into Get Out, you far off. So just leave Get Out of your head and go into this movie with a blank slate. Hey, take a pencil and a paper and make notes when you go watch this movie because you're gonna have questions.
If you don't have a brain, don't go watch this movie because it's really gonna go over your head.
It really is.
It is not literal whatsoever. It really is all like, it's all in here. That you got to think about it. I think even, as I'm saying, I think anybody walking out watching that movie is still gonna have questions. I don't care how much you know about movies and everything. You're gonna walk out with that with questions. Let's just put it that way. Because I mean, it's like anything, you know. You can interpret, just like you can interpret a painting in a whole bunch of ways. That's how this movie is. You can interpret it in so many different ways, and I think that's kind of what it's meant to be. I don't think there's a solid meaning.
And I feel like too, that's a good thing because, you know, me and you can go watch the same movie, or you know, whoever out there watch the same movie, and everybody having a different experience of watching the movie. So we can go together and watch the movie and come out with two totally different mindsets of the movie. Just like you go watch the movie and you go feel different about how we feel. You know, I feel like, and that's, I don't know if he intentionally tried to do that, but I feel like it's a good thing.
Yeah, and I think that's the point of it too.
Yeah, to have that different feeling. Like, so you ask questions, like your questions are different from my questions. You know, my questions are different from the next person's questions. And I feel like that, you know, that was something like smart of him to do. And I feel like for the most part, what do you think about the hype of the movie? Do you think the movie lived up to the hype, or do you think it wasn't as big as the hype was?
I think just because of how confused I was, I wouldn't say it was as hyped as personally, me, I felt it was going to be more scary than it actually was. Mm-hmm. I think it was more, like I'm saying, I think it was more psychological than it was horror. More suspenseful than it was horror. Like, I expected horror.
Hold on, so you saying he's not gonna be the modern day Stephen King?
I mean, psychologically, and have us thinking, yeah, because Stephen King did a lot of that too. Hey. But I just didn't see it so much as a horror. I thought it was suspenseful for sure. I just didn't see it so much as a horror film, like people said. And I mean,
I don't know. I feel like it did
horror. I don't know about horror too much. I mean, it had a tint of it in there, but I think it was more suspense and more of a thriller than anything.
But I feel like if people die in the movie, isn't that a horror?
That's the same thing as an action movie. People die. Well, that doesn't make it a horror movie, though.
A killer, though, like if there's a.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is more. It's more psychological aspect to it.
He also put that into it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's all built into your interpretation, right? Because it's like it could just be a straight up horror, or it could be more inner. Like, it could be more about your inner self, or it could be more about how you see the world. It really is all into your interpretation as far as right now. Because even just off the trailer, it's true. Like everybody had their own theory of it. So I don't know.
And then too, something that she brought up that I didn't think about until she said it is, the whole point of there being a part 2 to this movie. Tell me why do you think it's a part 2 without explaining the movie?
Because there's gonna be a part 2. There's too many questions that need to be answered for there not to be a part 2. I just think if you just leave it like that, if you see the movie, you're gonna know there's a part 2. You know when there's part 2s coming in movies. But it's just so many unanswered questions. I will leave it there. There's a lot of unanswered questions that I really do feel there has to be a part 2, because if there's not, I think everyone's still gonna stay in that mind state, like, what the fuck? Like, it's just that's
but sometimes it's good to just leave it as is. But I feel like there's a lot of open areas where I can see the part 2 coming from. Me, I'm not always a big fan of part 2 movies, but I feel like I can see where this movie will be a part 2 if it is a part 2, because there's a lot of open endings to a lot of unanswered questions, like she said, that he can go and fill in if he wants to. Because like The Quiet Place I thought was a good solo film. No, it didn't need a second movie, but the fact that it's getting a second movie, you know, it just let me know that there's a chance that this movie might get a second movie too.
Big chance. There's a part 2. If there's not, y'all can. I mean, I bet it right now. You can bet. I'll bet. But
and what do you think about the acting from the characters? How do you think the family did? You know, acting, like...
No, the acting was good. Yes, the acting was really good. I really did like the acting, especially from Lupita. I forgot her name in the movie, to be honest. But she looked crazy.
I think she did some award-winning acting in this movie.
She's... If you've seen Split and how his craziness is, she went right there too, like with her craziness. Like she did good. So did the daughter.
The daughter was good.
The daughter was good.
She's
there. That's the horror part, because they look creepy as shit when it's the other us or whatever. Like they look hella creepy.
And then
that's something I'll haunt you.
I feel like that the son, he hit it on with his character. I think he did a great job too. Also, the son, I feel like he played the role he was supposed to play, and he looked the role. When you see the movie, you'll see the only acting that I had questions about was the dad. And not saying he did a bad job, because he still did an okay job, but in times I felt like he was trying too hard as far as the comedy part. Not saying that he was trying to be a comedian, but the little jokes that he was sliding in here and there, I feel like if I was in that situation, I wouldn't have made like certain type of jokes. But I mean, who's to say? We never know. I've never been in that situation, and
hopefully never be in one.
Hell no! If I ever see somebody looking like me, they gotta go. I'm one of a one anyway, so that's never gonna happen.
You do got doppelgangers. You never know.
Hey man, I mean, just check your surroundings, man. Be aware. If you see anybody in a red jumpsuit, watch out for them. And I think, is there anything else that you want to talk about the movie?
No, I think that's it, because I don't want to spoil it. Again, this is a non-spoiler. If you want to know more and more of what we thought, and to see if you got the same questions as us, we do have the spoiler version that we already posted up. And you can go ahead and check that out once you see the movie. If you don't care to see the movie, go ahead and check that out. But yeah, we just want to do this for people that haven't seen the movie yet but want to know what to go in there and think of it. Because don't go in there with a closed mind. It's not literal. It's not a literal movie. You're not going to go in there and know exactly what's going on. I'm just going to put it there. You're not. That's what it is.
So, any questions? Please leave any questions, or however you felt about the movie. If you thought the movie was good or not, leave that in the comments below. And we will try to, chat with you guys, and we can all come together and figure this out, man. But yeah, make sure you guys, like the video if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And like we said again, until next time, peace out.